Hey guys, how you doing? Yes, no, I'm not dead. I wasn't eaten by piranha or anything, but we did go through a long period of financial issues, and due to the due to that fact, I did very little buying over the last 5 months or so, and it's kind of frustrating not having anything new to show, and it's kind of even hard to watch other people's videos because a lot of the stuff I was seeing was stuff I wanted to get and couldn't get. Luckily, it's starting to turn around now, and I did actually go to Goodwill on Sunday, and I did find some cool stuff. I'm thinking it's probably mostly from the same person. It's all pretty much mid 60s to early 70s rock. There is one earlier 60s British invasion kind of thing that was thrown in, but a lot of these are titles that I haven't seen before. Even in a regular store, some of these I've never seen before, and I paid $2 for each one of these. I don't know why my Goodwill seems to be more expensive than everybody else's. Everybody else posts Goodwill stuff and they say it's like $1 or less, and I'm like, what, because I'm in Vegas you're going to charge me more money or what? Probably the case, but whatever. Either way, I'm glad to be back, and hopefully I can keep this up again, and I can reconnect with all you peeps, whoever ones are left. I don't know how many subs I still have. I know I've lost a couple, but I don't blame you. I haven't done anything in like 5 months or something like that. So, but let me show you what I got, and we'll start with this one. Now, this is the first time in a long time that I've gone to Goodwill and actually had to leave stuff because I didn't have enough money to buy what was there. Usually I barely can find anything, or I'll find just enough or less than what I've actually got money-wise. So in this case, I actually found twice as much as I'm going to show, but I had to put some back due to I didn't have enough money to buy them all. And of course, if they were $1, I would have bought all of them. Anyway, we'll start with this one. Now this is one, there was at least 4 other by this band, and a few of them are like old originals. I wish I could have grabbed them, but I picked this one because it was the oldest one, and it seemed to be in the best shape as well. Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, Uncle Charlie and his dog Teddy. This is the original version. Here's the inside. It does actually have the sleeve, which is actually in pretty damn good shape for being from 1970, I think. And it is original Liberty. So this is cool. I've only got one other album by them. I'm not a big straight country person, so I'm not sure how much of this stuff I'm gonna like, because I like country rock, but I don't like straight country, and I know they kind of teeter between. So we'll see how this one goes. Next, I've only got 2 others by them, and I've only got like 5 anyway, but it was cool to find this. It's a Beautiful Day. I believe this is their 3rd album, and nice camel. Back, a little bit of ring wear, not too bad. Record's in really good shape. I'm not going to show it. Does have the lyric sheet, which I tend to get, oops, wrong side. I tend to get screwed on a lot of these. In fact, the next one I did get screwed on, and the only reason I know is because it said on the cover that there was lyrics and stuff. But the record's in really good shape, cover's in really good shape. Mayhall, Empty Rooms. This is one of his semi-acoustic albums. I've got the other one. They're pretty good. Here's the back, and here it says full discographies and song lyrics included. And what do I get but nothing. Anyway, but it was good to get the record. That's the most important thing. Oh, by the way, in the background, I am playing this Warren Hayes. Tales of Ordinary Madness. Now, this is actually on Megaforce, which is kind of strange because he's not a metal guy. He's actually Government Mule and Allman Brothers. And I dig him because he's got a really cool, soulful voice, and he writes stuff in that same vein. I don't have any Government Mule, but I have heard what I like. This is actually from '93. So this is before the Mule, I'm assuming. And I actually got this as a budget. You can see the bullet hole there. And I knew who he was, so I was kind of surprised to find it. But it's good. I mean, it doesn't sound like it should be on Megaforce, but it definitely stands up with a lot of his other stuff that I've heard. Anyway, back to business. Here's a band, one of those few 70s band that had women and men in the band. They're called Joy of Cooking. This is their third and last album. It's called Castles. I've actually got the other two, so I was glad to find this. This is another thing I wasn't never expecting to find at Goodwill. These are the two main people. The two women are actually the two songwriters, singers, and main musicians. The other three guys are actually the drummer, the bass player, and the percussionist. So these girls are actually the main part of the group. So I mean, it's almost like they're an all-girl group with the backup people. But this one, lucky enough to get the lyric sleeve, and it should be original because it's from '72, and that's when they had the red Capitol label. This is also in very good shape. Next, I actually found 3 albums by this band, and I have 3. And these are albums I never see, especially 2 of them. Siegel Schwall was one of the early white boy blues groups that actually started in like the mid-'60s and lasted up until '73, '74, I believe. That's Siegel and Schwall right there, and they had revolving door bass player and drummers. Pretty good stuff. I mean, they aren't the greatest singers in the world, but it's good, fairly traditional blues style. This is original Vanguard, and this is in great shape. Comes with the real sleeve. So this was really surprised in this one. I've never actually seen this one in person before. Next, another one I've never seen. I've seen at record stores for like $30-40, and I only got one other album by them, Sir Douglas Quintet. A little worn on the back, not too bad. Cover's in actually pretty good shape other than that. Original Smash Records, VG, maybe in between VG and VG Plus. But I played a few songs on it, and it's pretty clean sounding. And so, definitely happy to get this. Now here's the British Invasion part of what I got here. This is actually an original Searchers' first album, Mono. And it's the one with Needles and Pins on it, one of their big hits. Cool thing about this is first run cap with the blue ring on it, not the black one, the one that came after this. And it's not in great shape, but like with a lot of these 60s records that I have that don't look that great, they sound great. They got a lot of depth to them, good volume, and you don't hear much of the surface. Say pulling out an old 45 off of here, that was as beat as this record, or even less beat, would sound worse than the album does. So actually, it's good to have these old albums on vinyl, even if they're not in great shape, because they tend to sound really good. Next, one I don't have any by, Taj Mahal. Now, this is kind of interesting because it's called Giant Step. And the other side says The Old Folks at Home. Now I know a little ways farther into the 70s, Columbia had these twofer things. This is 2i. Where they'd have 2 albums they'd already released, and they put them together in one and sell them for cheap, budget. And then they'd have one cover, and then they'd have one in the corner for the other album, and they'd flip it around on the back. This is almost like that, but this is how it was actually sold. So it's like two different albums in one, like that was. But this is actually how they actually sold it. This is just the way it is. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So they're both 2 eyes. VG Plus, somewhere's in there. And so it's good to have some Taj Mahal. I don't have any. I do like him. Next, the first Blues Project album. Another one I've seen a couple times in a regular record store for a lot more money. Back's a little staining, but it's in good shape. Record's in really good shape. This is Verve Forecast, which I believe was the second version because Verve Folkways is how it came out originally, and they changed the name. But still, actually, I don't even think I've got any Folkways. I think all my Verves are Forecasts, but it's fine. So this is my third Blues Project album now, and Blues Project includes Al Kooper and Roy Cooper primarily. He's the most known one. Al Kooper. Did I say Roy Cooper? Anyway, 2 more Siegel Schwalls. This is one of their early 70s ones. Sleepy Hollow. Now this is on Wood Nickel. The last few albums were on Wood Nickel, which is the same label that the first 4 Styx albums are on. And so it was cool to find that. And this is also in killer shape. All 3 of these Siegel Schwalls are in great shape. And the last one is one of the earlier ones on Vanguard. This is called Shake. It's from '68. This is probably their second or third album. This one's a little worn on the cover, but another one I've never seen live before ever. I mean, actually seen while I was shopping. Another real Vanguard. This one's in VG Plus, and another original Vanguard sleeve. Second last one, Country Joe and Fish, Feeling I'm Fixing to Die. Another way I got screwed. See, there's some kind of fish game supposedly, and you open the cover up and it's an invisible fish game. Original Vanguard again. Got the sleeve. Obviously it needs some repairs, but it's in there. And this one's more like VG. It's not as good as the other ones, but it's one I wanted and didn't have, and it sounds pretty good considering. So I think a bunch of these albums have Hagen on them. I have a feeling it's the same person. The last one is kind of the coolest one, I think. Another one that I've only seen in record stores for $20-$30, if not more than that. This is another Hagen, as you can see down here. Sons of Champlin, their first legitimate big label record. Loosen Up Naturally, double album. There's the gate. Cover open. Now, one thing that I heard about this is that the original pressings of this have the word fuck in here somewhere, and that later ones have it either scratched off or taken off completely. Thing is, I don't know where it is, and I've looked around, I can't tell. If anybody has this and knows where it is, so I can tell for sure whether or not this is, which version of this is, just so I know, I'd appreciate it. This is on the Black Capital, so it's not a reissue. And both records are in VG Plus. And this was $2. Now this and Taj Mahal were both $2, even though they were double. So that was the buy of the day as far as those are concerned. So I finally got some new stuff to listen to. I started yesterday. I'm going to continue today. I guess that's it for now. Hopefully I'll be making more. If I think of it, I'll try and think of something different to do with the stuff I do got. Maybe for my next one if I don't get to shop for a little while. So I can do something else. But in the meantime, thanks for still being there. And hopefully reconnecting. I'll get some new people. All right, take care, everybody. See you later.